Okay, so I've determined that I have a bad fuel pump on the 2000 Blazer. Just wouldn't start on Sunday morning. I banged the fuel tank with a shovel a couple times. I could hear the pump kick in and the vehicle started. It's got about 120,000 miles, so it's probably due for one. The first thing I'm going to do is actually remove the spare tire. It's probably not necessary, but I want to get a good look at the connections and so forth, and also to remove the fill tube so I can siphon the gas out. I've done this job on a 95 Blazer, so I suspect it'll be very similar. Okay, so you can see with the spare tire out of the way, I have a nice view of the fill tube, the vent tube, connections. First thing I'm going to do is remove these so I can siphon the gas. I've got about 3/4 of a tank, and I don't want to lower the tank with that much fuel in it. Okay, I've got a 1/4 inch ratchet and a 5/16 inch socket. I'm just going to loosen up both these clamps here if I can without breaking them. Okay, clearly I'll need a new clamp. That's okay. Okay, next, if possible, I want to remove one of these two fill tubes, or this fill tube or this vent tube, so I can siphon the gas out of my tank. If I can't remove the tube right now, what I may do is start lowering this end of the tank so it puts some pressure on these tubes to pull off. So let me see if I'm going to move the camera here, see if I can get those loosened up. Okay, so I didn't have any luck getting the rubber part of the fill tubes off, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start loosening up this strap here, and I'm going to hit that with some PB Blaster. And then you've got up here, you've got another bolt, and what I'm going to do is actually support this gas tank with a jack, and then start to lower down the back end of it, and see if I can put some pressure on those tubes to pull those off so I can siphon the gas out. I definitely want to siphon the gas out before I actually start removing this whole tank because of the weight. So I'm going to hit this with PB Blaster, and I'll probably let it set a little bit. These, by the way, are 15mm, and I'm not going to hit the one above me. So I'm going to take a little break, let that set in, and I'll be back as soon as I can. Okay, you can see that this tank strap here, I've been hitting it with the PB Blaster. I've been working the wrench to it. I had to hold the top part with vice grip so that it wouldn't twist. I finally got it to a point where I can use a socket, and I'm going to use this gutless electric impact wrench. You'll see what I mean. Basically, I'm going to have to wind it in, wind it out, wind it in, just keep working it that way because there's so much rust that it's building up in the threads. Let's see if we can get this thing loosened up. Okay, I don't want to remove it all the way, I just want to loosen it up. Okay, that's the way I do it so I don't actually snap a bolt. I don't know that this electric impact wrench would snap the bolt, but I kind of wind it in, wind it out, and what that does, and I do the same thing with a ratchet sometimes too, is it allows that rust that's building up in the threads to kind of clear out. If you just keep winding it outward, then what happens is the rust builds up and you could actually snap that. And I could buy new straps, but they're like 30 bucks. I don't really want to, so. Okay, you can see after a little bit of finagling, I've got the fill tube removed. I'm going to go ahead and siphon my gas. I basically removed the rear strap altogether, and I've got the front strap significantly loosened. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now because this is what I really want to do before I start removing any connections and dropping the tank anymore. Okay, as you can see, it's going pretty good. And I may actually need more than 2 5-gallon jugs. but we'll see. Okay, so I've got all the gas siphoned out, or as much as I could get. I'm sure there's some still in there. I've removed the front strap bolt completely, and I've got 2 jacks underneath, one on the front, one on the back. But you can see that the tank itself is really light, which is why I wanted to remove the gas. Okay, so now I've got 3 lines here I've got to remove, and I can tell you that these are like the quick connectors, quick release connectors. If you're not sure what they look like, at least these 2 are. The center one looks a little different. If you're not sure what these are, then take a look at your fuel filter on the driver's side and you'll get a good look at those. The problem is I don't see how I'm going to be able to compress the sides on that, but I'm going to try to do it. Some people have recommended in the forums actually snapping these plastic pieces off right here, and then you can get the connectors off afterwards. I'm going to try not to do that. Okay, you can see I've got 2 electrical connectors here as well, and also I believe there's a vapor return line in the very front of the tank, and we'll take a look at that afterwards. I'm going to go ahead and try to get these off of here without breaking anything, and if I have to, I'll snap these right here, but I don't really want to. Take the easy one first. Okay, there's that one. Okay, I'm not sure what you guys can see. You can see that at all. Basically, what we need to do is push these tabs in, and there's one on each side. And what you do is you kind of push in and then pull out like that. Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. I ended up snapping the last one. I took some vice grips and just gave it a quick pinch. I just wanted to show you real quick. I thought maybe I'd be able to show you how that comes off. This middle one works similarly. You're going to squeeze in on this top and bottom and then give it a quick yank back. Okay, so here's the one I broke, and what we're going to do is just kind of show you how that works. These little things compress, and you're going to push in and pull out like that. Okay, so that's how those work, and the new pump will have new ones of those on it anyway, so we're good. We're going to take a look at the front and see if there's a vapor return on it. Okay, so here we are at the front of the tank. You can see there's a rubber line with just a spring clamp. I'm just going to try to, you can actually see it better than I can. I can see it on the screen. I'm just going to try to take my fingers and yank that off. If not, I'll have to try to drop that front of the tank a little bit, but there's not much length, so I don't want to pull that inlet off. So I could either take it there, or I could take it on the tank itself. It's just going to be a matter of which one is going to move easier. So let's see here. Okay, so here we are at the moment of truth. I was able to remove the front vapor return line. I've got the 2 electrical connectors in the back released, and I've got all 3 fuel lines released. Let's see if she drops out. Okay, may take some finagle here. I don't really want to drop it, so I'm going to grab a hold of the fill tube. Or we can drop it. It's out. Just barely fits. Okay, so there still is some fuel in here. You'd want to be careful. Don't light a cigarette or anything in celebration. And you can see I did have the clamp removed. but I was having a hard time getting it off. I didn't want to break that, so I went with the other end. That's it. I actually don't have a pump on hand. I've got to order one, probably from eBay. I'm probably going to get a Delphi or something. And I'll make another video when it's time to install the pump and replace the tank. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. Leave questions and comments below. And if you're doing this job, take your time, have fun, and don't break anything.